Welcome, everyone, to the deep dive. In our modern world, we are just absolutely swimming in data.
Oh, definitely. Charts, graphs, infographics.
Exactly. Visual reports, they fly at us from every direction, like every single day. It's a constant deluge, isn't it?
It really is.
And with all that information, there's this uh, universal urgent desire to quickly grasp the core insights.
Yeah, to cut through the noise.
Right, and instantly understand what you're looking at without getting bogged down in, every tiny detail. So the big question for today is, how do you actually extract the most important nuggets from that visual avalanche? How do you get to that aha moment faster?
That's what we're diving into.
Today, we're going to unpack exactly that, the art and science of summarizing information from graphics. We're drawing our insights from a really interesting guide, actually.
Yeah, one designed for the IELTS Task 1.
That's the one, the International English Language Testing System. Specifically, that part where you have to describe information visuals like charts and graphs, usually for academic stuff.
It's quite a rigorous framework,
Yep,
forces precision.
It does.
But, what's fascinating here is, while the guide is sort of framed by an exam, the mission goes way beyond just passing a test.
Oh, absolutely.
This deep dive is really about developing a crucial skill for quickly understanding, interpreting, and then effectively communicating data in any context, really.
Yeah.
We're going to break down the key strategies, not just for crafting a powerful, concise summary, but for truly engaging with complex visual data so you can actually pinpoint its essence.
Think of it as developing a kind of data comprehension superpower.
Huh, I like that. A superpower.
We're diving headfirst into the essential first step of any good graphic analysis, that summary, and how to nail it with precision.
So you can instantly convey what you're seeing.
Yeah, whether it's for a test or a business meeting or just trying to understand a news report you flick past.
Exactly. Getting that first sentence right is key.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. When you're looking at an information graphic, trying to summarize it, our source material highlights 3 core components you need to master for that strong opening summary.
Right. And this isn't just about, good writing technique. It's structured to force you to really understand the data first.
How so?
Well, the first critical step is actually changing the main verb, the one used in the original prompt or the description on the graphic itself.
Ah, okay. So if the prompt says the graph shows, you can't just repeat shows.
Exactly. You need a synonym. And look, this isn't just playing with words. It actually forces you to process the information actively. You have to choose a word that precisely reflects what the graphic does.
Okay, that makes sense. And this is where it gets really practical. The guide gives some great alternatives.
It does.
Instead of shows, you could use illustrates, depicts, maybe gives information about or represents.
And you have to watch the subject-verb agreement.
Right. That seems small, but it's critical for clarity, isn't it? If it's the charts, plural, then it's illustrate or depict, plural.
Precisely. That small detail makes a big difference in, well, your credibility and how easily people grasp your message. It sets the tone right away.
Okay, verb choice. Got it. What's the second part?
The second part, just as important, is paraphrasing a few key words from the prompt.
Oh.
So you're taking the original phrasing, like the main topic, and rewriting it in your own words, but crucially keeping the exact same meaning.
Right. So this forces real comprehension, not just memorizing the prompt.
Exactly. True understanding over just repeating.
So let's use their example. If the prompt mentions the percentage of the labor force by employment,
Yeah.
you start thinking synonyms.
Yeah, what comes to mind?
Okay, for percentage, maybe fraction, amount, part, or share.
Good. Keep going.
For labor force, workforce, maybe employers or industry.
Workforce or industry, probably better than employers here. What about employment?
Occupation, work, maybe engagement. It's like having a mental thesaurus ready.
It is. And then the skill is putting those synonyms together coherently. So for that original phrase, the percentage of the labor force by employment.
How could you rephrase it? Maybe.
Ah.
The percent of different parts of the workforce by occupation.
Nice. Or you could flip it. Different parts of the workforce by occupation expressed as a percentage.
Ah, okay. Both work.
Yeah.
The goal is just conveying the same info with different words, proving you get it.
Exactly. Making it your own summary.
But hang on, there's a really crucial point here our source makes. You should never paraphrase the actual subject, right? Like the graph or the chart.
Absolutely spot on. That's a key rule. Keep the graph or the chart as it is.
Why is that so important?
Clarity and consistency. You're introducing the graphic itself. Trying to find a synonym for graph is just confusing. It muddies the water immediately.
Right. Stick to the basics there. Okay, so verb change, paraphrase keywords. What's the third element?
The third component involves reordering prepositional phrases.
Okay, remind us what those are again.
Sure. They're those little groups of words starting with a preposition like of, in, by, between. They add crucial detail, usually about relationships, time, or place.
Gotcha.
And these prompts, especially in tests like IELTS, are often packed with them, sometimes 3 or 4.
Like in that example prompt of the labor force by employment in the USA and between 1930 and 2010. 4 of them right there.
Exactly. And the technique here is actually quite simple. Just rearrange 1 or 2 of them.
So instead of, say, the graph shows X between Y and Z in location, you might flip it.
Yep. You could say the graph shows X in location between Y and Z.
It's subtle.
It is subtle, but it creates a different sentence structure. It sounds less like you just copied the prompt, shows you can manipulate the language, adds a bit of variety.
Okay, so let's try putting it all together. Using those 3 things, new verb, paraphrase keywords, maybe a reordered phrase.
Let's do it. So taking our example, you could get something like, the chart illustrates different parts of the workforce by occupation, expressed as a percentage between the years 1930 and 2010 in the USA.
Nice. Or maybe, the chart depicts the percentage of the American workforce employed in different industries between 1930 and 2010.
Exactly. Both work, both are accurate, both are distinct from the original prompt, and both clearly introduce the graphic.
So what this really gives you, beyond just, how to write that opening sentence, it's a structured way to tackle that initial summary. Ensures you're precise, impactful right from the get-go.
But it's more than just linguistic tricks, isn't it?
That's what I was thinking. This whole process forces you to actually engage with the source material properly.
You can't just skim it.
No.
Yeah.
You have to understand it well enough to rephrase it accurately. And that's the real skill here, I think.
I completely agree. And once you've nailed that initial summary, which kind of sets the stage,
Yeah.
the next critical step in summarizing any graphic is to identify the overall trend or the most significant features.
Ah, okay. So moving beyond just what it is to what it shows.
Precisely. Like in a line graph, is the data generally going up or down or fluctuating wildly?
Or in a bar chart, which bar is the tallest? Or the shortest, the main takeaway.
Exactly. This is where you move from just describing the container, the graphic, to actually extracting those nuggets we talked about. The core message the listener or reader actually cares about.
The big picture.
The big picture, the dominant story the data is telling.
That makes so much sense. It's like, okay, first you introduce the play and the setting, and then you tell us the main plot point.
Good analogy.
And I'm guessing you don't just list every single number you see, right? You have to be selective.
Oh, absolutely not. Selectivity is key. When you summarize effectively, you're not reporting every single piece of data. That would defeat the purpose.
So what do you highlight?
You highlight the most important figures that support that main trend you identified, or maybe the key comparisons.
Like the starting point and the ending point on a line graph.
Could be. Or a significant peak, or a low point, a trough. Or perhaps the most dramatic difference between 2 categories on a bar chart.
Okay.
The real art is in selecting only the data that genuinely adds value and reinforces your main insights. You have to avoid just dumping information. No data overload.
Right. Keep it focused on the main message.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's recap this deep dive then. We've basically outlined a structured approach to summarizing visual info. And it's useful way beyond just an exam, really.
Definitely.
It's about building that robust understanding first. So remember those 3 key elements for kicking off your summary. Strategic verb choice.
Precise paraphrasing of key terms.
And that thoughtful reordering of prepositional phrases, just to make it your own accurate sentence.
And then beyond that opening.
Right. Beyond that, identify the main trends, the big picture story, and then be selective. Pick only the most impactful data points to back it up.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, like you said, this isn't just some formula for an exam task.
Wow.
This is really a valuable toolkit for achieving clarity in our, let's face it, increasingly data-saturated world.
It really is.
The ability to take complex visual information and distill it down into a concise, accurate summary one that captures the essence, not just repeats words. That's a seriously powerful skill.
Yeah, it transcends any single test or task.
Yeah.
It just makes you a more informed, more articulate communicator all around.
Mm-hmm.
And think about it in your daily life. How many times do you stumble across a graph or a chart, maybe a visual report at work, or even just scrolling online?
And you wish you could just instantly get it.
Exactly. Instantly grasp its essence. These techniques can actually help you do just that. Give you the confidence to quickly understand, analyze, and then tell someone else what you're seeing without getting lost in the weeds.
That leads to an interesting thought, actually. Consider how a strict word count, like the 150 to 170 words they often give for the whole report in these academic settings, forces writers to be incredibly selective.
Yeah, you have no choice but to be concise.
Right. So, what does that discipline tell us about the power of conciseness itself when communicating complex information?
Hmm, good question.
And maybe how might that apply to other areas of your life where you need to be both really clear and efficient? Crafting an important email, giving a quick presentation update, anywhere clarity and brevity matter.
That's a really great thought to leave everyone with. How does that enforced conciseness shape the message?
Something to ponder.
Definitely. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today.
My pleasure.
And we really encourage you listening to maybe start applying some of these summarization techniques. Try them out on the next chart or graph you see. Make that data work for you, not against you.